Most of us think we have this planet totally figured out. We have maps on our phones that show every street and every house. We trust satellites to tell us exactly what's out there. But there is a big problem with that logic. Satellites are great at looking at the land, but they can't see through miles of deep, dark, heavy water. While we have been busy looking at the moon and stars, the biggest animals on Earth have been hiding right under the oceans, totally invisible. Every now and then, we get a peek at these creatures. A camera randomly sometimes captures a strange creature, a fisherman sees something breaking the surface of the water, or a sonar tool picks up a heartbeat from something enormous. You're watching this because you have a gut feeling that the ocean is just too big for us to have found everything. And today, we're looking at the proof. From giants in the Antarctic ice to sharks so big they make a great white look like a small fish. Here are 7 sea monsters caught on camera that experts still can't explain. We should keep in mind that the ocean is huge and we've only seen about 5% of the bottom. That means 95% of the sea is still a complete mystery. We aren't just looking for normal fish anymore. We're looking for the sea monsters that fish are terrified of. By the end of this, you'll see a sea monster that was so massive, its voice was heard across the entire planet. But to start our journey, we have to go to a place where a sea monster didn't just leave a legend for us to talk about, it left a physical body for us to find. Number 7. The Cadborosaurus. In the cold, foggy waters of British Columbia coasts, people have talked about a 60-foot sea snake for over 100 years. They call it Caddy. It's said to have a long, coiled body and a head that looks like a camel. For a long time, scientists said it was just a story told by sailors, but in 1937, something happened that changed everything. Workers at a whaling station in Naden Harbor were cutting open the stomach of a sperm whale. Inside, they didn't find fish or squid. They found a 10-foot-long, snake-like body that was still mostly whole. It had flippers, a humped back, and that strange camel-shaped head. This wasn't a normal animal. It looked like a living fossil from the time of the dinosaurs. They actually took photos of it, grainy, black and white pictures that still baffle experts today. The mystery didn't stop there. In 2009, a group of fishermen caught something incredible on video. They filmed a series of big, dark humps moving through the water in a way that no whale or seal possibly could. It moved with a rhythmic, serpentine wiggle. To make things even stranger, the creature actually seemed to have a hair along its back, which is a trait found in mammals, not fish or reptiles. It looks like Caddy didn't go extinct, it just went deeper, hiding in the dark trenches where we are not able to reach it. Number 6. The Lusca. As we move from the cold north to the warm blue waters of the Bahamas, the sea monsters found here are even more aggressive than other places. The Bahamas is famous for blue holes, deep vertical caves that drop hundreds of feet into the ocean floor. The blue holes look like giant blue eyes staring up from the sea. Locals say a sea monster called the Lusca lives inside them. They describe it as a terrifying mix between a shark and a giant octopus. A group of divers exploring these caves reported a massive creature that was fast, smart, and very dangerous. They said it moved with a speed that no shark could match. Even the local news started reporting about some parts of the Lusca being discovered at the beaches. There are even accounts of disappearing boats near the holes where only broken parts of the boats are found left floating on the surface. Think about the giant squid. We thought that was a myth for centuries until we finally caught one on camera. The Lusca might be a species of octopus that moved into these caves and grew to be 75 feet wide. These creatures are masters of disguise, able to change their color and texture to blend into the cave walls perfectly. Number 5. The Bloop. While the Lusca hides in caves, our next monster is so big that the entire ocean is its home. In 1997, people who study the ocean picked up a sound in the South Pacific that was louder than anything they had ever heard. It was so powerful that underwater microphones 3,000 miles apart all heard it at the same time. They named it the Bloop. At first, people thought it was a secret submarine or a bomb, but when scientists looked at the sound waves, they realized something terrifying. The sound was organic. This means it didn't come from a machine or a volcano, it came from a living creature. But there was a problem. For an animal to be loud enough to be heard across half the planet, it would have to be much larger than a blue whale. We are talking about a sonar titan the size of a large city building. While some people now say it was just ice cracking, Many sonar experts who spend their lives listening to the deep seas aren't convinced. The sound had a pulse to it, like a giant heart beating in the dark. If something that massive exists, it doesn't need to hunt like a shark. It simply opens its mouth and swallows entire schools of whales. Number 4. The Black Demon of Cortez. In the Sea of Cortez, found off the coast of Mexico, fishermen have a very specific fear. They talk about El Demonio Negro, meaning the Black Demon. It's a giant shark, said to be 60 feet long. Now, scientists tell us that this creature went extinct millions of years ago, but the people who actually spend their lives on these waters don't believe that. They've seen shadows pass under their boats that are longer in size than the boats themselves. In 2008, a fisherman reported that he saw a massive blacktail rise out of the water that was 5 feet wide. For comparison, a great white shark's tail is usually only about 2 or 3 feet wide. Other research teams also have picked up shapes on their sonar that look exactly like a shark but are double the size of any great white ever recorded. Number 3. The Magna Pinna. If you want to see something that looks like a creature from a sci-fi movie, you need to look at the Magna Pinna, also known as bigfin squid. For decades, this creature was considered as a myth, something scientists heard whispers about, but there was no physical proof of it. But unlike the other ghosts on our list, we finally have clear, high-definition footage of this creature, and it looks terrifying. In 2007, a Shell oil company was exploring the deep Gulf of Mexico when they captured a video that went viral across the world. In the pitch-black water, thousands of feet down, they found a creature with a small pulsing body and massive elbowed tentacles that stretched out like spindly alien fingers. These tentacles are up to 26 feet long. As you can see, the bigfin squid doesn't swim like a normal squid, it hovers around. It hangs there in the darkness with its long, thin appendages dangling below it, waiting for something to drift into its grasp. It looks less like an animal and more like a marionette being controlled by something invisible in the void above. This creature is a breathing reality of the deep. It is not just a rare visitor, it's a true architect of the abyss. Its trench is so deep the pressure would crush a modern submarine like a soda can. The bigfin squid is a reminder that while we're busy searching the stars for alien life, the most extraterrestrial beings on the planet have been right here all along, drifting silently through the dark. Number 2. The New Zealand globster. Sometimes the ocean doesn't wait for us to go looking for monsters. Sometimes it throws them onto the beach. A globster is a huge, messy pile of creature which was first spotted on a beach after a big storm. They are some of the most disgusting and terrifying things you'll ever see. They don't have bones, they are often covered in what looks like white hair, and they smell terrible. The most famous globster washed up in New Zealand in 1968. It was a 30-foot-long mass of tough, fibrous muscle. When the experts arrived, they were totally stumped. It didn't have a head, it didn't have a tail, and when they tested the tissue, it didn't match any whale, shark, or squid they knew. It was like a piece of a monster that shouldn't exist. Some witnesses said the flesh was so tough that even axes couldn't cut through it. The globster that washed up on the beach was 30 feet long. This makes us wonder how deep the oceans are if they can hide a creature like that. Number 1. The Ningen. Finally, we reach the most unsettling creature on our list. In the early 2000s, rumors started coming from Japanese whale research ships in the Antarctic. The crews were terrified by something they called the Ningen, which means a human in Japanese. They described a 90-foot-long bone-white creature that looked disturbingly like a person. It had a human-like torso, 2 arms with 5 fingers, but a long tail instead of legs. Imagine seeing a pale giant person the size of a submarine swimming through the pitch-black water under the ice. There is one specific image that was leaked from a submersible. It shows the Ningen, a massive white shape on the top of the water. You can clearly see appendages that look like giant arms and a head that looks smooth and featureless. The sailors on deck said the creature looked up at them with a sad human expression before diving back into the water. This creature is not considered as a whale and seal because whales don't have fingers and seals don't have human torsos. The Ningen is something entirely different. It's a giant creature that has adapted to the coldest, most remote place on our planet. It hides under the Antarctic ice, where almost no one ever goes. If something that big and that strange can hide from us for this long, it makes you wonder what else is down there. just waiting for the right moment to come to the surface. It is the ultimate sea monster that reminds us how small we really are. We've seen the evidence. We heard the sonar titan. We saw the Ninjin in the ice and the black demon in the dark. These aren't just stories. They are the moments where our world meets theirs.